Welcome back all to my channel, Survive and Thrive. And today I wanted to talk about a new upcoming IPO that's coming out next week. And it's in the coffee sector. And the question that I really want to delve in deeply with is this going to be one that will compete with Starbucks in the near or long-term future? So the company I'm talking about today is Dutch Brothers Coffee. And we'll start off here with this Wikipedia. They're the largest privately held drive-through coffee chain in the United States. And that's a key component difference between them and Starbucks, is that most of their locations, if not all, are actually drive-through as opposed to a brick and mortar store. Their headquarters is actually in Grants Pass, Oregon. And they have company-owned and franchise locations expanding throughout the western United States. That's where their main focus is. Company was founded on February 12th, 1992 by two brothers, Dane and Travis Boersma. The two brothers were working on their family's dairy farm when they had the idea to start selling coffee. So they've definitely been around for quite a bit of time, well established. And as we go deeper into this company, you'll see that they do have many locations with a big vision of expanding throughout the country. The coffee chain serves a variety of coffees, caffeinated beverages, and other drinks including tea, energy drinks, smoothies, hot cocoa, soda, and lemonade. As it states here, the company's mantra is to make a difference one cup at a time. Every year, the company holds its annual Drink One for Dane fundraiser for the Muscular Dystrophy Association in honor of the co-founder, Dane Boersma, who died of Lou Gehrig's disease in 2009 at the age of 55. So definitely doing some great things out there for the community and, trying to reach out in those realms where it really does matter and they can make a community connection. And I know that for anybody who has experienced Dutch Brothers, I'm not personally a coffee drinker myself, but they do have a very big following, I would say almost to the point of a cult. And one sticker that I've seen on a lot of vehicles is Dutch Brothers Mafia. That's kind of a term that's been thrown out there a number of years ago for those who really are jumping behind Dutch Brothers. And I think there's been a lot of people who want to get behind this company because they are directly competing with Starbucks. Starbucks is, a multi-billion-dollar company, and they're all over the world. And so anytime you get one of these small, local, community-based companies, there's often a lot of people who want to get behind that. All right, so I went over and I'm checking out here on the number of Dutch Brother coffee locations in the United States. And per this site, 153 locations are located in Oregon, 81 in California, and 63 in Washington. And there are some locations in other states, as you can see here per this map of the United States. And like I said, they are planning to expand. And so I do see that in the future that they will make a very big presence across the states and continue to have high growth. And I missed the boat on investing in Starbucks. So this is definitely one that is on my watch list. Like with all IPOs, I think that buying in the day of is very challenging. And oftentimes the price per share gets pumped because it is something that is a new novelty. And so I will be watching day of, but whether or not I buy in that day or a few months after is to be seen, depending on where they come in with their share valuation. From this article in the Register Guard, Grants Pass-based Dutch Brothers sets date for IPO poised to be Oregon's biggest. And they've set Wednesday, September 15th as the date for its initial public offering, when company shares will begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol BROS. BROS. And it figures to be the biggest IPO in Oregon history, raising up to $484 million, which hasn't been done in the state of Oregon And so it is a very big deal and definitely something to be looked at as an opportunity. They plan to use $200 million of the proceeds to pay down debt and will use other funds to buy back stock and grow the business. Dutch Brothers said it will donate 1% of the IPO's proceeds to charity over the next 10 years. The company has grown from a single coffee pushcart to more than 480 stores across the West. Dutch Brothers said in filings associated with its IPO that it hopes someday to have 4,000 shops. Now, since they've been around from 1992 and only have just under 500 stores, to get to 4,000 is going to take them a long time, probably decades. But because they have that vision, and I think that they have a strong management team behind them, and they are well established, along with a great following on the West Coast, then that will be something that will be a catalyst for growth in the near and long-term future. Beyond simple Americanos, Dutch Brothers features an array of frothy beverages, cold brews, and energy drinks. The company said in its regulatory filings that its Blue Rebel energy drinks accounted for nearly a quarter of its sales last year. Now, also from what I've read is that you can see it here, they plan to sell shares between $18 and $20 a piece, which if that is the case, I will be buying in fairly heavy. But I also did read in another article that this IPO is actually happening before their next report on earnings. And so that's something that I may, especially if this price per share gets pumped up day of and in the first few weeks of the IPO listing, then I may be waiting for this earnings report to see how that comes out, because if there's any negative reportings, then that could drive the share price down and put me at a spot where there's a great entry point to get in and load up on a lot more shares and build my position early quickly. So here you can see some of the menu items that they have here from their website. This is obviously based off of the upcoming holiday season, starting with Halloween. And then they've got an assortment, like I mentioned earlier. They've got their classics, the cold brews, Dutch Freeze, Americano, the Blue Rebel, like we touched on, Frost tea. There's even kids menu drinks. They've got everything from smoothies to lemonade, Dutch sodas, chai, cocoa, and even other assortments of goodies and desserts. I've been there to get smoothies with my family, as my wife gets her coffee drinks and the kids get their other drinks that they want. And the staff is always very friendly, and the management makes a very key point on hiring key people to be in those positions because they really want that customer connection. And they're often way more personable than I think any other coffee outlet that I've seen out there. And you can tell that the people that work there are having fun, and they really like to engage and have conversations with their customers. And that makes people want to come back and buy more coffee and come and be loyal to Dutch Brothers. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the question that I wanted to answer. Will this coffee IPO be a potential challenger to Starbucks? They will be valued at $3 billion to $3.3. And as I mentioned, they're going to be under the ticker symbol BROS. Plans to sell approximately 21 million shares of Class A. 3 other classes of stock, B, C, and D shares, will bring the total number of shares outstanding to approximately 165.1 million, with an expected IPO price of $18 to $20 per share. Initial valuation will be between $2.97 billion and $3.3. The company is growing fast and has laid the groundwork for future growth. In addition to its approximately $100 million IPO, the company has been growing steadily and strongly for years. It has seen same-store sales growth through the pandemic at a rate of 2%. Other growth figures include a 16% compound annual growth rate in new outlet openings from 2018 through 2020. Over the same period, revenue expanded at a 33% CAGR, while year-over-year, company-operated shop revenue for full year 2020 surged 61%, to 244.5 million. That is a great growth rate there. Total revenue, including franchising, rose 37.3%. So you can see that there is potential here. Whether or not they're going to be able to match Starbucks, like I said, I don't see that happening anytime soon, but it does show you that this company has real potential and could be an opportunity like Starbucks was several years ago. Revenue in 2021 looks even more positive for Dutch Brothers. During the first 6 months, its operation generated $227.9 million, outstripping 2020's first half sales of $150.8 million by 51.1%. The coffee market is mostly, but not entirely, favorable. In many ways, Dutch Brothers may have picked a good time to go public. IPOs seem to be popular investment targets since the start of the IPO craze in the late 2020s. Starbucks is expected to see sales increase as workers and students return to physical locations rather than remote workspaces, and the same trend will likely benefit Dutch Brothers. The coffee market is growing fast. Coffee sales overall may grow at a 5.1% CAGR from 2021 through 2028. Notably, this includes all types of coffee, including bagged and pod coffee sold in supermarkets. Direct-to-consumer coffee is expected to soar at a 15.3% CAGR between 2020 and 2027. Dutch Brothers will be one of the companies positioned to scoop up profits from this growth, which is expected to reach 139 kilotons of coffee sold and have an opportunity of $1.56 billion by 2027 in the next 6 years. And they will get a good portion of this opportunity. So I see a lot of upside for them in the next 3 to 5 years. One potential warning note comes from the surging coffee commodity prices, frosts, and other meteorological mayhem in Brazil, plus shipment backups caused by Colombian political turmoil sent coffee prices to their highest level in 7 years. While this could cut into Dutch Brothers' profits initially, the problems are temporary and shouldn't affect its long-term potential. Who will brew the most success? With Dutch Brothers having just 477 locations versus Starbucks' 15,000, there's little chance the energetic upstart will put even a tiny dent in Starbucks sales for the foreseeable futures. Anybody who's invested in Starbucks can rest easy knowing that competitive pressure from the upcoming IPO won't affect their stock's price, sales, or market share for many years. Dutch Brothers still looks like a bullish investment on its own terms, however. For anyone seeking a pluckily growing underdog among restaurant stocks, this dynamic IPO in a swiftly increasing market looks like a potentially good choice. And for me, it is one that like I said, will be watching through next week and for several months after. And just seeing if next week's going to be the time to buy or if I'm going to hold back and just keep some cash on hand and look for that dip to get in at a good entry point. I would love to get comments from any others who are considering this company or have done other research on other similar related companies out there that might be a better investment opportunity. And just the exchange of information between all of us. That's how we help each other out, to be able to look for those opportunities, get in on these investments early, and give ourselves a chance to make some real money. I'm happy to report that I'm actually over 50 subscribers now, and I've read a lot that getting to the first 100 is the most difficult challenge. So I'm really looking forward to my long-term vision for this channel, being able to continue to connect to the YouTube community and talk about financial strategies, different investment opportunities out there related to crypto, stocks, other ways to become financially free. And the way that you can best help me out is hit that like button. This gets others to be able to view the same information and get that free education. And if you really like the content that you're getting, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and continue to track the new content as I upload week to week. And that's all I really had to cover for today. I do see a lot of potential for this company. I'm excited about the growth and opportunity and ability for me to find a company early and invest. Until next time, don't just survive, thrive.